lot of different breakdowns we can get an inside wrist out of. I mean, choose your favorite here. You've got a chop trap here. You can feed to an inside wrist. You've got a spiral. You've got a claw and prise, probably my favorite. So heck, I'll show that one. Come up here. I'm going to grab a piece of his neck right here. Outside is going to come to the inside of his thigh right here. And then I'm going to get my chest on top of him, real heavy right here. I'm going to get up on my toes. I'm going to pry this thigh, and I'm going to try to bring this elbow across his face. And as I drive, okay, I'm looking for this elbow to collapse. As soon as it collapses, just like that, I'm going to come from my pry right here, catch that wrist. Catch that wrist, and I'm going to drive over it. Drive over it, knee in the butt, okay, I'm here. And this is probably one of the most important things when I teach my little guys to learn in wrestling is we call this skin position right here. I've got an inside wrist. I'm on top. Notice I try to straddle this thigh right here a little bit. Okay, let's go over this position here real quick. I'll show you how to get an arm on his back, and then we can work an arm bar from here. So this shoulder right here, I want to put in his back, and this hand right here, the most important thing I want to do with it is I want to roll it. As I drive on my toes with this wrist, I'm going to roll it. Just like you're accelerating a motorcycle, how you turn the accelerator, I'm going to rev this thing up. I'm going to roll his wrist out. And what that's going to do is as I drive, shoulder in his back, Kason tries to come up to his base here, shoulder in the back, hand in the thigh right here, skin him down. He comes back up, skin him down. And what happens is his arm starts to loosen up here. Now, there's a secret to getting this arm out. I want to show that to you guys here. So let's go ahead and turn over here, Kason. Here's a secret, okay? You can be a little bit stubborn here. Don't give it to me easily, okay? Here's the secret to getting this arm out that a lot of guys, I don't know if they know it, if they don't follow it, but here's the insider secret, okay? I still keep my shoulder in his back. What I'm going to do is I've rolled his wrist under. I've got about halfway. I'm going to take this arm right here, my forearm, and I'm going to put all my weight on it, and I'm going to put it down in his tricep right here, and I'm going to transfer the weight that's on his back, on his shoulder, I'm going to transfer it down into my arm like this, so that all of his weight, all of my weight, is above his elbow, it's on his tricep, and that immobilizes this arm. Instead of trying to pull it up and out, I'm going to pull it to the side like this with all of my weight still on it. And then after I pull it to the side, I'm going to walk back around, put it in his back pocket, and I'm going to straddle this hip. And I'm going to straddle this hip because if I don't, and I just put it in his pocket, Kason's going to just try to square up and face me. Yeah, and I'm going to lose it, okay? So I'm going to straddle this hip right here so he can't circle out of it. From here, I'm going to get my chest really, really tall. I want to be real tall here, and I want to push down on this arm in his pocket. Now, for rule's sake, you guys know I can't bring the arm off his back, and I can't bring the arm up his body like this, or the ref's going to call potentially dangerous there. Okay, I got to keep it in his back pocket. From here, my favorite way to get to an arm bar to start is to get really tall in the chest. And I'm just going to try to take this wrist right here, and I'm going to put it on the mat. I'm going to take my time, put it on the mat. Watch what happens to Kason's shoulder. It comes up off the mat. And that gives me my little shelf to get my chest underneath. I sink my half on his head, and then I drop my chest underneath here to get underneath it. And then from there, it's just a matter of stretching it out and slowly taking it over, taking it over, taking it over. Lift up the head, squeeze, get your fall right there. Just show it one last time from the wrist. So here on the wrist, skin, shoulder in the back, okay? Got more out. Forearm goes down on the tricep, put all the weight on it. Pulls out to the side, put it on his back, straddle the hip right here. From here, I'm just going to take my time putting this on the mat. Shoulder comes up, if you're really, really tall, if you're a tall guy, you can take your knee here too, and you can shove it underneath this shoulder. So when you try to adjust, you can't put his shoulder down, so you can get underneath it. Another option you have right there. Now do like a leg on your leg over, lift the head. Here's your fall. Want to see a wing next? Or you want to work on this for a little bit?
Let's work on that first.
Okay, let's work on that first. Break on 2. 1, 2. Any breakdown you want, trap a wrist, just focus on skinning that wrist out, putting your elbow down in his tricep. There you go. Yes. You can take both hands right there. Yes. And then put that thing up in the head and freeze it down. There you go. Now you can free up your left arm to scoop his head. Yes, like that. And just get your chest underneath the shoulder. There it is. You got it.
Jason's lowest card was an 8, like I was 6.
That was tight. That was tight. Kid's been here before. There, drop shoulder. Nice. The lower you can get your chest underneath the shoulder too, the tighter it'll end up. Get there.
Come back, if a real, make sure you push that, come back. Go back down, take it this, there you are, Mark. Okay, now go 2 on 1, see how you're coming off, get your hip over his hip, battle right there. Okay, now get your chin, bring your knee up, bring this knee up, and yep, make sure you push this literally here before you reach for that. Okay. Don't reach for it too soon. Yep, now, yep, come back down. Set over the top.
And you're doing it naturally, yeah, just like you were like doing anyway. If you put your head where his elbow is right there, that can help keep it in place too. I think we're ready.
Yep.
All right, let's circle back on up, fellas. All right. Let's just go ahead and pretend that I already broke Casey down flat on his belly and I got an arm down in front of him right here. So I'll show you my one trick. I mean, if I'm on a tight waist, chop tight waist here, you see a lot of guys will drive them over the arm and they'll scoop this into a chicken wing. This is a chicken wing and not an arm bar. You'll see some folks call it an arm bar, laugh at them and say, wait a second, that's a chicken wing. Because if this is a chicken wing, or if this is an arm bar, what do we call this? What do I call this? Is it double arm bar? Then what is this? This is a gable. This is a gable or inside wrist. This is a wing. This is a wing, not an arm bar. This is an arm bar. This is an arm bar. All right, now that we got that straightened out. Okay, okay, so we've got Case in here. He's planting his hands in front. Now I'm looking to try to run a wing series on him. Okay, I can try to scoop to this wing right here and dig it in. But let's say, for reality's sake, Cason's really, really strong, which he is. So I'll show you one of my favorite little sneaky variations to try to get this wing in. I'm straddling his hip once again. I'm driving forward. Okay, I don't want to be pulling him on top of me. I'm still putting his weight forward, putting his weight on his hands. Okay, from here, my favorite little variation to try to get a wing in is I'll take this far side hand right here. I might be digging for a wrist, trying to act like I'm going for this inside wrist here. I'll switch sides with it, and I'll take it and I'll shoot it underneath his arm right here. I'll grab my own hand like this, and now I'll just pull it back right here and thread it to a wing right there. My two hands are a little bit stronger than my one hand trying to scoop. So this far, opposite side hand just comes under, I grab, pull his wrist, pull his arm back, and then thread to a wing right here. Okay, let's talk about wing position. Now, once again, I can't let my wing go parallel to a shoulder like this, or else the ref's gonna call it. I gotta keep it on his back. I take your wing arm and you wanna make a fist with it. I don't wanna keep it flat on his back, I wanna make a fist with it. I want my knuckles up down. And for me, I find that I can get a little bit tighter. If I, instead of putting it on the spine, I'll try to take my fist and I'll put it in his shoulder blade up here. I'm not taking the legal, I'm staying in the legal range of motion right here. I'm just taking it from being exactly parallel or exactly perpendicular. I'm bringing it up to a shoulder blade right here to try to get a little bit tighter, okay? From here, my favorite finish from here is a stacked wing, okay? And the way that I'm gonna get this is I'm gonna get off to the side. I'm gonna take his elbow right here, and I'm gonna put it in the middle of my chest, like this. I'm gonna get really, really tall here, and I'm gonna run this forward, and instead of trying to step around his head when I get to the end, I'm gonna finish this like a stack, okay? So this is how it'll work. I'm not even worried about this far side hand just yet, and I notice Kayson's already like pushing his fist out right there, blocking, okay? So I'm just gonna put the elbow up my chest. I'm gonna walk forward with it. I'm gonna walk forward. I'm gonna walk forward. I'm gonna walk forward. I'll scooch around here. With this, the key is to get this elbow up between my chest. And now, I'm gonna try to take my elbow and I'm just gonna drop it down into his ear, okay? Usually, so Kayson's blocking with that arm right here, I might just scoop a tight waist on this side. As I get right here, instead of trying to step over his head, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this elbow and I'm gonna stack it right behind his ear, just like this. There. And what that does, sometimes against a good guy, if I step over like this, I give Kayson the chance to try to roll me. Like, yep, and just roll, yep. That stuff can happen. Guys are gonna try to roll there. And this kind of is a way to eliminate that. So I get the elbow in between my chest, and as I get to this side, instead of stepping over, I'm just gonna take this elbow and I'm gonna put the elbow in the ear, drop it down, drop it down, right there. And he's gonna be pinned. He's gonna be pinned. It sinks pretty tight. If Kayson was blocking like this in a match though, if he had his arm forward like this, I'd be running McElravy. So for all sakes and purposes, he's here. What I usually do is I'll run this up in my chest, and as I get about this far, I'll catch a wrist. If I can't catch a wrist, don't worry about it. Just take this far arm right here and come to an underhook. Like this, underhook will be good enough. Here, up in the chest, and then just drop it down. Take your time, get your chest settled, just drop it down. Drop it down. Drop it down. There it is. Right there. The ref's gonna call that in really quick. All right. Questions? Let's give it a shot. Break on 2, 1, 2. Get the elbow all the way up in the chest, and just drop your elbow behind his ear. And stack it. There you go.
Right here.
There you go. And then you're gonna stick it right between your man chest. Right there in the crease. Get it elbow. Yes, get it up in the chest. Yep. And now you're gonna push with your chest. Push forward. Yep. And as he starts to, yep. Right there. Yep. Nice. Don't get the far wrist right away, it's okay. A lot of guys will start to give it up as they go
See how
more.
that's off? I still wanna keep this and just kind of run it up to here. Come back over, so you're right in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're trying to, you're pushing too much this way, drive it straight, put this right, hold on. Take this, you want it right here on that far shoulder blade, okay? Now you're gonna run
Oh, see his
forward,
elbow
you wanna
pop
put
out.
his shoulder
That's
blade
okay.
right in
His
here.
elbow pops out like that, we'll bring his shoulder to his ear. Just pretend like you're trying to put his shoulder in his ear. Keep walking, drop the elbow, forward. Yep, drop it. Nice.
He's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit harder to. But you don't, you just don't wanna pick that arm up.
Yeah.
Hold on, that arm.
See if you can get even closer behind his head. That's tight. Closer you can get it behind his head, the tighter it will be. Let's go. These guys got it figured out.
You're here, you're keeping it, you know, what he's doing is he is elevating here like this. And he's getting the elbow in his chest here and running forward here, like this.
Yeah.
You guys are keeping it down here and trying to run it over. Get it- I still have this pinned on that far shoulder blade. So you gotta get the elbow up in your chest and then you're running here
Yes.
and then you drop it.
Okay.
You're not getting the elbow elevated. You guys are trying to elevate the elbow by picking it up instead of prying it up.
Yep. Yeah, it's jammed up in your chest, you're trying to.
Yep, right there.
Yeah,
No,
get your
hold on.
chest in.
Keep this and hinge down here and picking it that way. Yep.
Yep, there.
It's like a pry bar, too.
Yeah.
You're just prying it up like this and getting it up in your chest. Don't lift it up. And you'll- you could get-
Kind of use your chest like a spatula. Get underneath it. I think they got it. You want to drill, you want them to show, and you want another variation, you want to drill, coach.
Just get after it.
Let's go. All right, fellas. Got player